killing Raydow in the Wilds beta. I mean, that's okay. Capturing the rarest new endemic life! Now that's priceless. Hello, my fellow hunters of the Wilds persuasion. How do you fare this fine day of hunting? And by fine day of hunting, I mean the agonizing middle day wait where early beta is finished and the secondary beta hasn't started. But fear not, because if we can't play Wilds, we can think about it, we can talk about it, and we can look at it and go, And today it's time to not talk about the new monsters that are all ridiculously cool, or indeed the Wilds versions of all of our favourite weapons, which are again ridiculously cool. I want to focus on the stage with which the aforementioned two things clash and combine in beautiful dance. That stage being the world, the environment, the nature, the life, the detail, the fabric underfoot that combines to give this specialness that other games just don't really capture. It's not terribly difficult to do cool moveset against cool boss, though that said, it certainly is to the level, polish, and smoothness that Monster Hunter now commands, but to then take it a step further and have all of that take place in one of the greatest environments ever wrought in a video game, that is something else entirely. Walking around the Windward Plains is like being invited to take part in a Jurassic Park David Attenborough documentary, and I really cannot express my level of chuffness with that. Seriously. And here we see that everything is fucking awesome. But let's get to the main event to start with, and let's be honest, something very neat. Yeah, there are new rare versions of monsters. Not just rare endemic life, which was introduced along with endemic life in a world, but rare versions of monsters, albeit currently small monsters, but that's exciting because it sets a precedent that this can happen more and greater and maybe even spill over into the large monster department. What am I talking about? Well, Mr. Zesty on Twitter hunting along happened to find the following. A completely out of nowhere black as night ceratonoth, just ambling along in the herd. You can see the contrast clearly against the other males with the lightning rod backs, and that is super exciting. Of course, on the surface, that's a really cool detail. It's just a natural color variation to this herbivore herd, and that's really sweet. Just, yeah, okay, awesome Wilds, keep this up. But in terms of Monster Hunter, something getting a different color like that does mean a little bit more. Of course, the easy example is literally Diablos 2 Black Diablos in a 1-to-1, but this clearly then you could totally label as like a ceratonoth subspecies, if we go by old Monster Hunter standards. Now, I don't want to go that far, but just the point is that in Wilds newly we have rare versions of small monsters that can appear. So can we get rare versions of large monsters that can appear? Yes, there's literally rare species, and of course your variants, your subspecies, and they tend to have a different color like this, but I have often said it would be very cool to get some proper distinct variation between the same members of a monster species, and they don't need to be an entirely, different version in the sense that they have a different armor set and drop different stuff and are a different hunt, just something that gives them a little bit of variety. So this is super exciting to see. And honestly, the ceratonoth in general are just a beautiful example of what I'm talking about with how much detail has been wrought into this world that even makes Monster Hunter World itself look cute. Like here during the lightning storm, seeing all the female ceratonoth low to the ground, hunkering down in a ring, and then the protective lightning rod male in the middle, attracting all of the lightning strikes. And you can see these kind of pockets of behavior play out across the entire map, across all of the creatures. It really is wonderful. Finding the now beloved amstrigian and its nest full of babies, and then mercilessly capturing it so that they have no parent anymore. In any case, it really is charming beyond compare. But right there, bringing up the amstrigian takes me to Endemic Life, which have never been better. They're more complex in what they do, from little cool glowing geckos that are bioluminescent but release little puffs of smoke when you get close as a defense method. That is really, really exciting. Or the land-like shrimp that like to sit on the fulgurite generated by both the natural lightning and Raidow's lightning as they relax upon it looking for food. That's really, really neat as well, and there's so many of them. I have been walking around the map for a long time looking for them all, and many other people are as well. It's actually really heartening to know I'm not alone in my love of this kind of thing, and there's at least 15 new types of endemic life, and indeed some really awesome returning ones, you could say, like Emperor Hoppers. But I do want to talk then very specifically the rare ones. So far, there seems to be 3. Let's start with the curio shell crab, because I think this one is especially fascinating. This is a little golden crab that very much draws comparison to the golden calapas in the Culture of Siege in the Caverns of El Dorado. And when you catch them, they give you something very much of note. A coin, and not just any coin, an ancient wyvern coin. It's only worth 10 points, but methinks there might be something a little bit more to it. Sadly, we can't properly look at all this stuff because we don't have, like, hunter notes and so on and so forth, but that is really exciting to me. A florashell crab that has retained its ancient appearance. It flees at full speed the instant it spots a foe. Hence me being quite the, panic to actually catch it when it came up, but this thing is absolutely brilliant. It also implies that a regular florashell crab will exist somewhere else, likely probably on the Scarlet Forest, but this goldeny ancient one that gives you this ancient coin, I mean, it's like a living archaeology monster, which is really neat. Then we have the wind rustlers, the little compy-esque dinosaurs running about the place. Normally they are orange and quite common, but occasionally you can get a pure black one in the midst of the pack and give it a catch, and there you have it, as found and caught by Rayquaza 3.0 here. It's really, really cool, and I love that even then we can get rare versions of otherwise plain endemic life like we have seen before. But by far and away the hardest to catch, and I know because I have tried for a long time and not been able to get it, and from the sounds of things a lot of people have experienced plenty similar, is our new star of endemic rarity, at least for the Windward Plains. It's a sand star, caught by Shincry on Twitter. This is ridiculous. It's like a glowing little, star of a rodent that absolutely guns it across the sand. You have to be at night in the dunes and clear weather, and even if you have ghillie, even if you're crouched down, it does not make it easy for you. It sparkles as it runs away. It is just beautiful, and I really can't wait to get my hands on it. But you may have noticed then that I said nighttime and clear weather. Before in World and Iceborne, and even Rise and Sunbreak 2 that had rare endemic life, the conditions for them were definitely precise, but we chiefly had night and day. That was mostly the two versions that we had to wait for to make things appear. But in Wilds, we have 3 different states for the map: the fallow, the plenty, and then the inclemency, the lightning storm, and the Windward Plains. That is 3 different states. Each can be at night and day, money, and then other factors on top of that. So it has never been harder and therefore more rewarding to actually find and grab these guys, which I really, really like, but oh my god, finding them for all the maps is going to be a challenge. And you know I love to bring you guys the rare endemic life as soon as I can. It's probably weird that I prioritize it so much, because I imagine most people don't care, but look, I love it, alright? I absolutely love it. But all of this said, what's the point if we have nowhere to display them, if we have no room? We've not heard anything about a room, we've not seen anything, it's not come up in a positive or negative light, so I really hope it does happen. Even if it's just in the tents, there's a little cage and you can choose what you display there. That said, in the base camp in the Windward Plains, there are two things of note that I could definitely see end up being rooms. Firstly, the ship itself, the sand ship you come in on. Your room in Sunbreak, for example, is a ship, so that would make sense if we eventually get let on, and that's our room that we can customize. And then there's also this little tented area that leads down into a rock crevasse, but you can't walk through it. But it's not obviously blocked by geometry or items, it's just a big open passage. It feels almost weird that it's just an invisible wall, like it doesn't look natural. It's like they wouldn't miss that. The attention to detail in this game is too good. It would be built up to be like, obviously you can't go here. So it feels like you just temporarily can't, and whatever this is disabled. And this could totally lead to a player room, and something similar is in each of the base camps in each of the maps. And, you know, it just keeps your customization between them. It's got weapons outside, like the hunter would have, and I don't know, it just kind of gives me that vibe. Let me know what you think, though. But now, though, I just couldn't resist bringing you something on the rare monsters that are being discovered, the rare endemic life, and just how incredible this world is to simply exist in. But now, like you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more, consider supporting the future channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.